All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another update on Bitcoin, and I'll also cover some altcoins that were requested in the comments. And then lastly, I'm going to answer a viewer question in the comments here. Okay, so let's go into Bitcoin first, real quick here. Yesterday, as I was making the video, we were dumping out of our descending channel. Obviously, some news on the tariffs had something to do with that. So we were dumping out of this descending channel with volume. I talked about our first support level being the value area high of the big range at 103. We just busted straight through that. We saw no reaction at all there. And now we are starting to form a range below our value area high of our big range, and our monthly close closed below our value area high. This is a very concerning thing, you guys, because we have a really bad looking candle on the monthly. Let's go to the monthly here. All right, so you can see this candle here. It doesn't look, let me get to a cleaner chart. I mean, it doesn't look really bad. It's still a green candle, but there's quite a wick on it. And so I don't like how that looks. We also did close rejected from the top of this pitchfork on the monthly. And okay, let me rephrase that. It's not a really bad looking monthly candle. It is a concerning monthly candle that we closed below the value area high of our big range. And the range that I'm talking about is this range here from November 11th to present day. You can see we closed below, not only on our daily candle, but our monthly candle closed below this key value area high here. What that tells me is we could accept fair value of Bitcoin back within this bigger range, and we could make a move down to that point of control, which we front ran on Bybit and Binance. And it's also our golden pocket, which we front ran. So we do need to watch for a move down to that level. You can see our golden pocket is coming in right there. Also, the bottom of our pitchfork band, which historically in this range held here, all through here, held here, held here, held here. So 4 times it's held. Will it hold a 5th time if we come down here at 96.5 to 95.9? And that is the area I am looking at our possible support to come in. We also do have a swing failure pattern of these lows here, down here, and on a smaller chart, on a different chart. That was the last time we touched another pitchfork band before pushing up to the midline. And let me go into that one. So let's go to our Coinbase chart. Let's zoom in onto the 2-hour. I know this looks messy right now, but let me zoom in and explain. So last time we touched our pitchfork band here, we had a big explosive parabolic move to the upside, to the midline resistance of our pitchfork. You can see the midline resistance of the pitchfork has really been holding us down. Let me hide this real quick. The midline of our pitchfork's really been a tough resistance for us to crack. But also, this pitchfork, anytime we get to this band has been a pretty good consolidation area, and we're trying to hold it now. The other pitchfork here, you can see our golden pocket in the bottom of our band is coming in at this key area. So I do really like this. I do think we might be able to drop to this area now that we're breaking this channel to the upside here, and we're seeing a push to the downside, closing our monthly candle back within our value area. If I go back to our Coinbase chart, we can see here a couple things that are a little bit concerning. Now, first of all, we are still in our upper range. Let me grab that on again. Let's see here. I believe it is. No, let's see. Man, I've got so many of these things. Okay, so this range here, let's pull it to present day. You can see just from January 17th to present day, we're kind of forming this sideways range up here now. And we are holding the value area low. Technically, we're at the value area low right now. Right as I'm making this video, you can see we're at the value area low of this range. A concerning thing, though, guys, yesterday we almost came to our box of support. Once again, we front run that key SFP area into our golden pocket. And now we are seeing this value area low hold us so far, but we made a bounce from the bottom of the pitchfork band, came up to our anchored VWAP from the lows of this move, from these lows here, and now we are dropping back down, had an SFP of the local low from yesterday. You can see here, we swing fail pattern. This first initial flash crash got a move up to the VWAP in the back test of the pitchfork band. So let me zoom in here on the 15-minute chart. I'll show you guys this. So yesterday we had that initial crash on the news of the tariffs dumping, the news of the tariffs kind of caused all markets to crash a little bit. And tariffs starting February 1st for Canada, Mexico, and China. 25% for Canada, 25% for Mexico, 10% for China, excuse me. And now we had that initial low, which once again front ran our swing failure pattern at 97.2, and it's, wait, that's not 97.2. Hold on, what just happened here? Yeah, I'm sorry. We swing failed another low. This low here. This was the second pivot of the channel. That's right. Okay, I'm confusing myself here. Sorry about that, guys. So this was the second pivot of the channel, the FOMC flash crash lows. And we did front run the SFP of that level. You can see our candle didn't quite get to it here or even here. And our bigger box of support is in here. This is our more local support. Now we do have our main support down here at the 97K area, 96 to 95, actually closer, I would say 96.5 to 95.9. Anyways, locally, let's go back to local price action here. So we had our tariff news dump. We bounced up to our anchored VWAP from the lows. Now that we're finally, you can see our anchored VWAP held here, held here. Now we lost it and we're flipping it to resistance. That's this light blue line here is the anchored VWAP. We rejected from the anchored VWAP. We came down and we had a local SFP of those flash crash lows from yesterday. You can see here, we SFP'd those lows. We got to move up to our regular daily session VWAP and the back test of this pitchfork band. So this is what I really want to go into. Let me delete this now. You guys saw we had the SFP. And we are seeing a back test of our band now. We're losing the band of support. You can see we're trying to reclaim it. 1, 2, 3 taps. We're dropping. If this value area low that we're pretty much at right now does not hold, I expect this to at least come down a little bit lower to this box of support here, where we have the SFP of the, let me fix that. That is the SFP of the FOMC meeting flash crash lows, the dump before the pump. And then we have a new daily down there, and we have our golden pocket down here as well. So I would be looking, actually, let me refine this box because we want to see the SFP. So we want to go a little bit lower than this level here at 101.375 on Coinbase. And also would make an SFP of this low now. We also have an SFP of this low. So what this could be, this would actually be nice to see. We could see a 3 drives pattern into this box of support here. And what a 3 drives pattern is where you have 2 SFPs. So we had the first local SFP of this low yesterday. And then now, if we get an SFP of this low and this low together into our bigger box of support, that would give us the 3 drives pattern, 2 SFPs, 3 drives SFP, and then we could make a move up. Now, even if we make a move up, it might be a lower high, you guys, so we need to keep that in mind. With us closing our monthly candle below this 103 value area high, what we could do is we could come into this box of support here. We could see the double SFPs into this box of support and then make a move up to our value area high and reject and come much lower. So that is a possibility we need to be watching. Remember, guys, I've been warning about this for about a week on my videos. We did have triple drives of bearish div on the daily on Market Cipher B chart. And anytime you see triple drives of bearish div, you have to pay attention to that. You have to keep that in mind that the trend could change and we could see a bigger correction to the downside. So this is what I'm watching for. Very, very locally here, we're in this kind of bottom range that's forming here. We actually do have a sort of channel here. Let's see. I mean, I don't really like that. I would take it off the 2 lows, actually. But I would really look at this as more of a horizontal range that we're seeing right now. So we do have like this kind of descending channel that we're seeing here. You can see the midline bounced here. Midline, we're at the midline in the value area low right now, so we could see a bounce from here, and we could just continue to range for the weekend. You could also do a fixed range volume profile and just pull the volume of this here and look at this. So we're rejected from value area high, rejected from value area high, bounce from value area low, bounce from value area low. If we come down to value area low again, we could just be trading in a small range for the weekend, like this area here, something like this for the weekend. So we just need to watch that for the weekend. But I do think that it's highly probable that we come down to this box of support down here. And even if we bounce from this box of support, we do need to look for a lower high before coming down to our real box of support, which is this box down here. All right, that is it for Bitcoin. Now I'm going to go into Ethereum. And Ethereum, you guys, oh man, Ethereum has been respecting our price action so nice. So the last time I made a video on Ethereum, I drew this out as our box of support. It was our 786 anchored VWAP channel midline. We did front run the channel midline just a bit. And you can see we came into our, and it was also a value area low, I believe, of this range here. So if we do this range, just kind of this sideways range that we're seeing here. No, not, okay. It must have been a bigger range. And so anyways, we came into our box of support here, hit into our box. We saw a perfect bounce here, bounce from our box of support. Where did we come to? We came to the box of resistance, which was the swing failure pattern here of into our value area high, our pitchfork band, and the daily channel. Now the channel, we did break out a little bit and faked it, because when I first initially made this, this was over here where the time alignment was a bit better. Here, it was over here, but it's still the same box of resistance. I just did this, pulled it more sideways to align for time. And so we did hit into that box of resistance. We're rejecting. Let's take a look here to see if we actually got the swing failure pattern, or if this was more. Yeah, we did get the swing failure pattern. So you guys, another thing I talk about in my videos, the market runs off of liquidity. The market makers love to stop out people. They love to do liquidity hunts to stop out traders and then just reverse the price the other way. So I talk about liquidity runs these markets all the time. And sure enough, we get another SFP of these highs here, get the drop. So bounce from support, rejected from resistance. I mean, this thing is just going so nicely here on Ethereum. So we got that. And now what can we look for on Ethereum? Technically, we're still just ranging, you guys. We're still just ranging in this smaller range here. And we can play the range until it breaks. So here's our range. We're losing our point of control. So our value area low is coming up here. Let's do a Fibonacci pull from the lows of the move to the highs of the move here. And look at this. Our local golden pocket is at the value area low. So this is our local support level to be watching. Golden pocket here. Okay, yep. I had that based off log scale. So look how nice our golden pocket is aligning with the value area low. The 618 at 3178, really. 3177.98. So 3178. This is on Bybit's chart. This is going to be the local level I'm looking for a bounce. If you think Ethereum is going to continue and break out of this bigger descending channel, let me zoom out here onto the 4-hour chart. And let me clean this up just a bit. So I'm going to delete that. You can see we've been trading in this bigger descending channel here. And let me just scoot some of these over now. All right. And so now we have the golden pocket, which is coming in around our range value area low. If we also do a bigger range, we could look at this range here, this sideways range here. Now our value area low is a little bit bigger or a little bit higher up here. And this was the value area high that we rejected off of here. Yeah. So we could look for a wick past this value area low into our smaller range value area low and our golden pocket for a move up. Now, if that doesn't hold, and if we start to break both of our value area lows of this bigger range here and this smaller range here, then we probably are going to come down a little bit further. In this box of support that I showed you guys at the beginning of Ethereum, let me get rid of this stuff. This box of support here. So we did hit that anchored VWAP. You can see that's where we bounced from the anchored VWAP here. The 786, I do not think we actually hit the 786. Let's go here. Let's go to the 8-hour chart. Seven, 8, 6. Yeah, no, okay, this is a different one. This is the bigger pull. I think I was looking at this pull. Okay, here we go. We did hit the 786 on that as well. Okay, so we hit into our 786 anchored VWAP channel midline. Let's hide this box real quick so you guys can see a little bit better. So as long as we're holding this anchored VWAP, you can see anytime we come down to this anchored VWAP, it's been holding. Actually, since we busted, I pulled this anchored VWAP from way down here at this 2000 level. So that's where that anchored VWAP was from the last major weekly low. And now we are just coming down, holding anchor VWAP multiple times. Let's zoom in here on the 2-hour chart. Now, what is a bit concerning here? If we don't hold value area low at this local golden pocket, I do think we can come down and swing fail these lows. The last time we touched the bottom of the pitchfork band, and that pitchfork band is this blue ascending line here of the much bigger pitchfork. You can also see we were consolidating in the band of the pitchfork here. I know this is a little bit messy, guys, so excuse this. But you can see these light green line and dark green line. This is the band of the pitchfork we were consolidating within here. Busted up to our huge, now this midline here is our huge weekly midline. So this weekly channel midline, this channel is about a 3-year channel. It's a very important channel on Ethereum. Really the entire bull market channel, cycle channel, I should say. So now we rejected from that midline literally exactly to the dollar, dropped down to the bottom of our pitchfork. And now you can see after we bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork, we came up into our band and we found some resistance here along the band. And once again, yesterday, we did front run it just a little bit because we hit our value area high first, but we came up pretty much to the band and we're rejecting again. So the bottom of what I do like locally, if this golden pocket does not hold locally, we do have the swing failure pattern of this low here on that initial flash crash here on Monday. That was from the DeepSeek stuff. So the DeepSeek crash here, and then we do have, now if we look at this, we zoom in here, we have, oh, let me fix that. Okay, we do have the SFP of these lows into our pitchfork of support again, the bottom of the pitchfork support, and then also our anchored VWAPs down there as well. Anytime we're hitting into the anchored VWAP. So what I would like to see is if we do lose this area here, if we don't bounce from here, or say we bounce, we come up here, make a lower high, come down, we would like to see the SFP here hit into the pitchfork, close the hourly candle at or above this anchored VWAP area. So we'd close it at or above here, and then we could make a move up. Now, if you're going to play that as a trade, you would wait for the bounce to happen. You would enter after the reclaim of this SFP level. You'd put your stop below the wick that was made. So say we hit into this pitchfork, and then your TPs you would set accordingly. Like you could set one at the top of the channel here in case we drop it again. But really what I would be doing is I would be playing the range. And so I would look to pull this range here. And I would look for a bearish backtest of the value area high. If we break this, come down here, SFP here into the pitchfork, and then get a move up, I'd be watching for a bearish backtest of that value area low before maybe coming lower to our main support area down here. So that's just a scenario that I'm watching and mapping out. Doesn't have to happen. I do think it's a possibility we could bounce from this local value area low in golden pocket. Actually, what we should do here is set an alert. Okay, we got that there. All right, So that is it for Ethereum. Now, if Ethereum does not hold the bottom of this pitchfork, we do have our main box of support way down here. This is such a strong level of support that I'm going to for sure be looking for longs around here. You can see it's a very important SR flip level. It was acting as resistance all through here. Once we broke it to the upside, kind of was support here, even though we front ran it just a bit. So our channel midline is down there. I mean, we have a lot of support down here. Bigger golden pockets down here. A lot of stuff in this box here. So let's see. Did I mark some of that out? Yeah, I just put major support. So anyways, that level there is a major level of support here. And if we do not SFP at 2,908 into the bottom of our pitchfork around, wait, no, sorry. This one is 3,017. So we'd want to see the SFP of 3,017 into about 3,000 at the bottom of the pitchfork. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to SFP the 2,900 low into our bigger box of support around 28. Let's see, what is that? 28.75 to 27.36. So that's it for Ethereum. Now, let me go to Super. Let's see. I think I did it on this one here. Yes. Okay. So first of all, let me zoom out onto the weekly on Super. And let's go here. Let's turn off some of these. All right. No, let's just zoom into the daily here. So Super, actually, I think I just did another one too. Let's check this out. Okay, this is the one that I just marked out. Now we'll look at that other one too, because the TA is valid, but I just did this one today. So here we go on Super for the weekly. You can see that we had this accumulation phase here, and then we had this big expansion phase. We had this big blow up here. So now we need to keep in mind that these prior highs are now going to be acting as support if we do come down that far. Now, if we do come down that far and we take a golden pocket pull here from our lows of the weekly move to the highs of the weekly that we just had, and we have to put it on set the fib based off log scale, because this is a more, so when we look at the percentage of the move, and I know I didn't get the exact low there, but it's it's pretty much a 3,000% move. So when you're setting your fibs there, you have to use log scale, because if we click on this fib here and we unclick log scale here, you're going to see that our golden pocket is actually, it's where we're at now, but you can see that that's not a 60% retrace of this move. So it could give you a false reading. If you're using a log scale and it's a big percentage move like that, make sure you click logs based off fib scale. You can see our prior highs of that accumulation range are right now. Anytime you break highs like that, oftentimes in a healthy market, you'll come back to back test those as support, to flip them to support. So our bigger golden pocket is in that area. So at Super, this would be a buy zone for me, like a spot buy zone between 26 cents and 23 cents here. 23.3 is a spot buy zone for Super. Now, this is more on macro, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into, now I just wanted to show you that on the weekly chart. Now we're going to zoom into the daily chart here. And on the daily chart, there's a few things that we can look at here. First off, let me hide this channel here. Let's clean this up just a bit. All right, you can see here, let me hide some of this stuff. You can see here we've got this weekly ascending channel that we're trading in. Very nicely respected, midline bounce, rejection, rejection. Now those are not perfect, but it's a weekly channel. So, and the bottom of the channel here, if it takes some time, is aligning around the 786 here. But let me go ahead and turn on some of these levels now. You can see that we have a brand new weekly level aligning with the 786 near the bottom of the channel at 53.5. And then we have a weekly aligning close to our golden pocket here around 69 to 66 cents. Now to the above us, we do have two resistances right on top of each other. We have a new weekly level at $1.57 and a brand new naked daily point of control up there as well. Not brand new, a naked daily point of control is up there as well. As far as this bigger channel goes, you can see that we bounced from the midline here. Now we're in a descending channel on the daily chart. I'm going to go into this in just a second, but we're finally losing that midline, back testing it as resistance, and we're rejecting so far. So if we do not make a local higher low on this drop here, this channel here, we can have a high likelihood to come into this box of support here. Our golden pocket is around, I would say, look at the 0.65 of the golden pocket. So 69 to 66 cents is where I'd be watching for the next big support level on the daily to come in. Now let's analyze this here. This is the daily channel that we're in here. So if we take a channel from the highs to the next lower high, we bring it to our first low, you can see that it's trading, super's trading nicely in this descending channel. Now, very locally, we are coming up to the channel midline, which if we zoom in here onto the 4-hour chart and we do a local Fibonacci pull here from the lows to the highs on this 4-hour, you can see that our golden pocket is coming up right around the channel midline, that 0.65. So this at 89.4 cents, this could be a bounce level. Now, I'm not convinced that this is done dumping on the daily. I think we can get a bigger correction on the daily to this area here, which is the bottom of the daily channel. It is our golden pocket and it's our weekly. So this box of support here is going to be looking nice here. And really, I would like, I'm going to leave the 618 in there, but the important level of the box is between the 6.5 and the weekly there. That's where it's really nice looking. So, but locally, we are coming up to a support. If we're going to range for the weekend, we might bounce here at this 89.4 cents and then make a move up. Now you can see this daily channel here. If we do bounce where we're about to come into local support right now, if we bounce here, we could just slowly grind up to here where it's the bigger weekly channel midline and the top of the daily channel, and then we could come down here. So that's something we need to be aware of. Now, let me go ahead and turn on some other levels here. I'm going to just turn on all of this stuff that I just did. And let's zoom back out onto the daily. And we're going to look at, so let me get rid of this local fib too that I just marked out. We'll clean that up. Okay, we are just around that local golden pocket. We also had this naked daily point of control, which now is no longer naked. We're shooting through it right now. So, and you can see it didn't act as support. So taking that off the chart. The only reason I put that on the chart is because we were so close to it and it was in our confluence with this midline. So I thought, okay, we might bounce from there. Right now, it doesn't look, I mean, yeah, I don't think, even if we see a bounce from here, I think it's going to be a small bounce before coming down here. Now, that's my bias. It doesn't mean it has to play out. I just think that we still have some more time to go on this correction, especially if Bitcoin starts dumping. All right, now to the upside, we do have a new naked weekly point of control up here. And this naked weekly point of control at 105.5 is in confluence with the top of the daily channel and the midline of the big weekly ascending channel. So that is our first local resistance. And then, of course, we do have the liquidity grab. You guys, I always talk about how liquidity runs these markets. So we have the liquidity grab swing failure pattern at 104 into our weekly naked point of control, into the top of the channel, and into the ascending channel midline on the weekly ascending channel. This box of resistance is our very first box of resistance here. And so we'll mark that out as a box of resistance. Now, to the upside, we have a super nice resistance above us. You can see up here, if we do a golden pocket pull from the highs of the daily channel to our current lows. Now, this might change if we make new lows into this box here. But for right now, our current resistance up here, we do have our golden pocket up here. Now, within our golden pocket, we have a fresh weekly level, and we have a fresh naked daily point of control. So this 154 to 157 area is a really nice area. This box of resistance up here is juicy, juicy box of resistance here. And I would be looking for at least some sort of reaction up there. Also, we have our liquidity. Remember how I talk about anytime you have a channel like this, the second pivot of the channel, the liquidity of the second pivot is an important level. So we do have our channel liquidity there as well. Now it's just above that area. So we would have to see a wick into it and then close at like a daily. I'd be looking for a daily close below the weekly in the naked daily point of control, or at least at the those levels. All right, so that's our resistance above us here. Now to the upside, of course, we do have the SFP of these highs into the top of our weekly channel as well. That's 227 to 256. Now that's a big wick, but you see super gets big wicks like that all the time on the daily. So I'd be looking for a daily SFP into the top of the channel, close the daily candle body at or below the swing failure pattern level. That is a resistance we could be watching. And then to the downside, now, if we keep chopping in this channel for a long time and this box, say we bounce from this box, which I do expect some reaction from this box, but we just make another lower high, maybe we bounce from here, come up to this level here, reject from this level, then down at our 786, we do have a weekly at 786 as well. And depending on time-wise, the bottom of our channel could be aligning pretty close with that if it takes like a month or so to play out. And then, of course, this liquidity grab here is into that, this internal daily low here. And then the last thing we could do is we could do a fixed range volume profile. We could pull a fixed range volume profile of the entire daily range that we're seeing here. Okay, so the couple things this shows me here. We do have our value area high that, just like with Bitcoin, we're losing on the monthly candle. We close below the value area high of this big daily range that goes from December all the way. So it's like, December 2023. This range is over a year long. And you can see that we're when we broke the value area high to the upside, it held as support here. Back tested, we made new highs, came down for the first time to test it with this flash crash wick. We wicked past it, but we closed above it. It held as support. But now we're finally starting to see daily candle closes below this value area high, which is this white line right here. And we even came back up, back tested the value area high and our weekly channel midline, and we're rejecting. That's what makes me think on the daily we're going to see new lows be made on this. So we're rejecting, we're confirming our fair value back within this bigger volume profile. So what do we do when we reject the value area high on a bearish backtest? You look for the point of control. Now, at the point of control here, it is a little bit past our box of support here with this weekly and this golden pocket. But we do have the point of control of our 1.5 year long range and a naked weekly point of control at 62.6 cents. And also that could be aligning with the bottom of the channel very nicely if it takes us till like February 9th, which is like a week. If we just keep grinding down for a week, this area is another area I would be looking, 62 cents, 62.6 cents. So we could, even if Bitcoin really sees a flash crash down to like that 96K, 96.2, we could flash crash through our box of support, hit this, and then start to reclaim that right away. It could be an aggressive flash crash. But overall, this general area here could hold as our support on the daily. And then if we lose that, we do have a weekly in our 786 down here at 53.5 cents. Now this area here is a area that we need to watch for a strong support level as well. And if we start to lose that, you guys, it's really not looking good. So we have some very strong supports below us. I would be paying attention to those supports below us. If we do lose the 786 and then the weekly ascending channel, I mean, you know, I do think this 25 cent area, 26 to 23 cent area could come. And we do have our value area low of that range, though. Let's look, let's pull it to here. And yeah, the value area low of that range is still something to watch for. but we could go a little bit lower. Even technically, even if we bounce from the value area low of this range, it's a pretty much a back test of this here, because we could pull this as like a band here. So from these highs to these lows at this area here, you can see resistance, resistance. Now if we come back to it, it would be support. All right, so that's pretty much it for super. Actually, no, it's not. Let me zoom back in onto the 4-hour chart, because I did want to show you guys. It's a brand new month, daily chart. Brand new month here, and we do have new monthly pivot points to be watching. Now, I like pivot points on the monthly because they generally are pretty well respected. So let's see if we have any confluence. Yes, we do. Our naked daily point of control up here at 143. We also have an R1 monthly pivot up here, our first big resistance on the monthly pivot. Our R2 pivot is in confluence with our naked daily point of control at 157. 159, this area, this box here. So actually we could make this box like here, that box there, and that is a juicy box of resistance there with all that resistance up there. Super nice. We do have, and now our S2 pivot here is at our box of support down here. So we can mark the S2 pivot down to our naked weekly. Let's do that here. And then so naked weekly point of control, S2, and then POC of the big range, channel bottom. So I do like that one as well. And then down here, yeah, so those are our monthly pivots here, monthly pivot points. They do have some confluence with some of the levels that we marked out manually through our other TA. So that's nice to see. All right, that's it for super. Now, next I will go on to Ondo. I think I did it on Coinbase. Let me check here. Yes. Okay. Coinbase, Ondo. Let's zoom out to the weekly chart, and let's go ahead and hide some of this stuff here. You can see on Ondo. Now, I know that there's probably a longer chart of this, but this is the important price action anyways. You know, this does go back to March of 2024, where all those altcoins made those highs. So I just charted on here, even though I'm sure, because really we're playing this local price action anyways between the last weekly lows here and the new high that is made. So we do have this ascending channel here on the weekly, and you can see in blue here. Look how nice this ascending channel is. Support, 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 resistance, resistance up here. Midline respected for weeks here. Midline respected here, bounced here. Midline bounced just recently from it here on the weekly level. Now we're seeing wicks past it, but weekly, this is a weekly channel, so the weekly midline is holding very, very well, and the highs and lows are acting as strong support and resistance. Let's zoom in onto the daily chart here. Our daily chart. Now, when we zoom in onto this daily chart, I see a couple things here right away. So we do have this range here on the daily that we're playing right now. Like this area here is a range that we're playing on the daily. And so we can look at this range. We can do a fixed range volume profile of this range here. And you can see a few things. We rejected our value area high, rejected us here. It rejected us just the other day here. Our value area low overall is holding very nicely. And our point of control is even being respected. We bounced from it here, came up to the value area high, and now our point of control is going to be our support again until we lose it. Couple things though, we do have another channel here. So this is a smaller daily ascending channel based off just this day's stuff up here. You can see the bottom of that channel is aligning with our point of control. So that's at, what is that? 133.5-ish. That is our most local support level. Let's zoom in onto the 4-hour chart here. And you can see how that point of control is aligning nicely with the bottom of the channel. So if we are just going to continue slow chopping up in this channel, then our point of control, it's also, I do believe it's our golden pocket as well. No, 786 here. 786 is right down there. So this area here, 134 134 pretty much 134.2 to 133.5 is going to be our local support area to be looking for a long if this is going to bounce here and then continue up. We could even just see that. So I would play it as a scalp with the bigger bearishness that this is. And now ascending channels a majority of the time break to the downside. Not a majority, a more probable to break to the downside. Now, if we break to the downside on this, we do have a couple things here. Our naked daily point of control is coming in around our bigger weekly channel midline. Now, remember how I talked about this channel midline on the weekly has been a really strong support level so far. So that 129.8 here this is our first local level of support here because it is our big channel, weekly channel midline, a naked daily point of control down here. That's a support level. And then another support level that I like even better is this level down here, which is our naked daily point of control, a fresh weekly level, and a value area low. So this level here is really what I'm interested in looking at and playing is 121 to about 119.6. That area here for Ondo is a really nice level to look for. Also, if we do a Fibonacci pull from the lows of the daily ascending channel to the highs here, you can see our 786 is in there as well. So let me mark that out. Now with altcoins, you guys, the 786, we tend to retrace to the 786 more than the golden pocket on altcoins just because they're more volatile. So it's seen more than with Bitcoin, more mature markets, the golden pocket works better. With some of the smaller altcoins, we retrace to the 786, which in this even in this smaller case, look at our 786 has confluence with the point of control in the bottom of the channel. I actually am going to look at this for a scalp long. So now, if you're coming down to look at this for a scalp long, you need to zoom in on like the 15-minute chart and under and look for bull divs. You want to see money flow coming up. If you do not have your confirmations, you do not long it. Do not long this just because it's support, because this could bust right through. And if it loses this daily channel, just like with Bitcoin yesterday, oftentimes in an ascending channel, when you lose it, you'll see a volume flush to the downside. You will flush to the downside. So be aware of that. Okay, that is our support levels on Ondo here. Now, resistance levels, we do have our golden pocket coming in around the top of this channel here. And let's see here. Yes, golden pocket coming in around the top of this channel at 177-ish, 175 to 177. Let's look at our monthly pivots here. And yes, there was an R1 monthly pivot here as well. So 176 to 177 is a resistance. You can see that even though this monthly pivot started after we rejected from the value area high, until we shoot above our value area high is going to act as resistance. So we do have a resistance level in here as well because it is also near the channel midline. So if we bounce from the bottom here, work our way up to the midline here, we have our R1 monthly pivot, our value area high, and our channel midline that's going to be around here. So this is a box of resistance to be watching here locally. And then, of course, yes, our R2 pivot is in our golden pocket. So if we really see a strong move up, we could come up here. It's towards the top of the channel. But even better, because time-wise, I mean, in order for us to get to the golden pocket that quick, we would have to see like a bounce here and then shoot up there really quickly. Now that can happen. You saw it happens in things like this right here. But unless Bitcoin is really pumping, then I don't know if Ondo will do that, or unless some sort of alt season kicks off. It's very probable. Altcoins can make really aggressive moves. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but that golden pocket up there with the top of the channel confluence time-wise, we would need to do it by Monday, really by like Monday or Tuesday. Now, if it takes some longer time, if we bounce from here, kind of chop around in this channel for a few days, you can see that the naked weekly point of control up here with our 786 and the top of the channel here, So that's February 11th. And that makes more sense to take about a week to get up here. And then, of course, we have our R1 pivot and another weekly up here. So this box of resistance up here is definitely a box of resistance to be watching. Yeah, okay, so that's that. And then, of course, if we break these two, I mean, I'll mark this out as a, oops. We should mark this out as a box as well. Here. And if we break that, now we have the top of our weekly channel up here, and the SFP of the top of the channel would be nice, but also depending on time-wise, we can look for the top of our channel up here around 243, 245, 240. That's if, dang it, I keep doing that. That's if we make it above this channel here. So, and then to the downside, you guys, very, very far to the downside. Say Ondo dumps out of this daily channel. Let me clean this up. Daily ascending channel. So we have the daily ascending channel here, and say that Ondo is making an ABC correction, which is very possible. Like, let's check this out, you guys. If we come here, we go to our ABC Elliott pattern, you can see we had our impulse to the upside, and now we have an A wave here on the daily. We have a B wave that could end at our golden pocket up here at the top of the channel, golden pocket. And then our C wave could come down all the way to the bottom of our weekly channel here. Now, that's a bit aggressive for a C wave. Actually, C waves are the most aggressive to the downside. They're usually a 5-wave impulse to the downside, a 5-wave Elliott impulse to the downside, and a C wave can end with a lot of volume. So we could see a move all the way down on the weekly chart, all the way down to 76 cents, 76 to 77 cents, where it's the bottom of our channel. Now, if it was a quicker move, we could see it come down here, 786, channel bottom, naked weekly point of control. This is definitely a strong support level that I would be looking at here for a possible support level. Now, as far as our ABC correction goes, you can get the target of the ABC correction. You can do a trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and we can do it from the highs of the A wave, the start of A to the end of A. If I can get it here, and then to the end of B. Now, if we are projecting that B is ending now, then our target is going to be even lower than this box of support here. But here's the thing, say it goes a little bit higher. Let's say that our B wave goes all the way up to this top of this golden pocket here. Look at how nice the confluence is right now here. Say we come up to this golden pocket at 177 and then reject. Our 1-to-1 ABC correction target is right in our box of support. So what that tells me is that we could see a move up to that golden pocket, and then we could see a flush down to 73 cents. That would be so nice to see, and that is a larger time frame ABC correction playing out after a big impulse to the upside. Now, this is just pure speculation right now. We haven't even made our B wave. We don't know if our B wave is done. We don't know anything about this, so this is kind of speculating too far into the future, but I just wanted to point it out there. All right, that is it for Ondo. Next up, let's see here. So I did Popcat. I'm pretty sure I did it on Bybits. Yeah. Okay, you guys, Popcat is, I think Popcat's a meme coin. Man, oh man, Popcat is just eating it. It is so bad. So, I mean, look at this thing. Now, we're at our last SFP. If we don't SFP these lows here, gosh, I don't know what else is left for Popcat. Let's zoom in on this, actually. Let's see if we're going to SFP this right now. I had marked that SFP out before we got down here. But Popcat is rugging. It looks like Popcat is rugging or something. Look at our big, so you can see here, our channel, this was the bottom of our channel. We lost it, back tested it multiple times, could not reclaim price action within the channel, and now we're seeing the dump to the downside. So let's go on to the daily chart, and let me show you. We were in this really nice descending channel on the daily here, And you can see we were chopping in this descending channel really nicely. And I don't know if some news happened on Popcat or if it rugged. I have no idea what's going on here with Popcat. But we're pretty much at the bottom of Popcat. I mean, like this is the launch, so I don't know if you can count this. But we do have this SFP down here, and there was this small order block, this small daily order block. Now that order block's already been tapped with this SFP here. But I mean, this is it, you guys. For me, this is it. I mean, I don't know if there's another chart that has more history, but like, wow. All right, so here's the thing. Popcat's at the base support right now. There's not much lower we can go. To the upside, we do have a naked weekly point of control up here at 43 cents. Oh man, this thing is just dying. This thing is dying. To the upside, if say we can SFP this and we can get back within our channel here, near the top of our channel, we have our SR flip level, which is at 70 cents, and then we have a daily at 71.9 up here. This is an important level to be looking for. I mean, this impulse to the downside is so big. We could do a Fibonacci pull from this last little daily high here to our current lows, which are changing by the minute. And our golden pocket here. So our golden pocket is in that area. If we are going to end where we're at now, we have a daily SR flip level and golden pocket at 70 cents to 72 cents. That is our first resistance area there. Now, our next resistance area, we have a naked daily point of control and a weekly at 86 cents. That area there is near the top of the channel, but actually not even anymore because it's dumping so aggressively and so fast. So, but that still is a resistance, 86 cents, naked weekly or weekly and a naked daily point of control. And above us, we do have a couple weeklies up here, but you know what? Like, honestly, we have to see this. We have a lot to go before even getting back up here. We could look at this as a giant range. We could just pull the whole thing as a range. I mean, we're losing everything, you guys. This thing looks like it's rugging. I have no idea what this is, but this thing looks like it's rugging. Let's check this out. I know it's a meme coin. Let's go to KuCoin. Maybe KuCoin has... Nope, not really. I mean, yeah, you guys, this thing... It's rugging. I don't know what to say. What I can say is that this is a very, very nice trail of liquidity that's being left here. And if it does see a recovery, I mean, like, look at this trail of liquidity. Boom, 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 boom. So if we can break that, we can see a massive short squeeze to the upside. But it's, you know, I don't know what to say, you guys. I mean, look at this thing. It's literally rugging right now as we speak. Let's go into the 6-minute chart. I mean, let's go to our hourly chart. No bull divs on the hourly. Let's go to the 4-hourly. No bull divs on the 4-hourly. Money flow coming out very, very aggressively. This thing's going to 0. Daily chart. No bull divs on the day. Actually, yeah, we do see some possible bull divs on the daily, but money flow looks like it's starting to come out more aggressive on the daily. Yeah, you guys, I would absolutely not try to long this until this finds a bottom. Wait for this to find a bottom. Wait for it to start to range, at least on a 4-hour chart. Ooh, ETH. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Let me check something out here. ETH is coming into our value area low and golden pocket that I just talked about. Let's see here. Possible bull divs on the 15-minute here. Money flow doesn't look good. Let's zoom in onto the 5-minute. I might look for a long here. Hourly chart. No bull divs on the hourly. Money flow looks like shit. 4-hour chart. No bull divs. You guys, I was looking at longing this, but I do not like what I'm seeing. Look at the daily is even starting to curve over like we're going to keep dropping. 12-minute chart. No bull divs on the 12-minute. Okay, here's a perfect example, you guys. This is my level of support that I had marked out to see if we were going to look for the trade. I am not seeing confirmation for the trade. Now, if it chops for a little bit in here and we start to develop some bull divs on like the 5, 15, 12-minute, I might take a long from here. But right now, perfect example, the only bull divs I'm seeing, and they're only possible bull divs, are on the 15-minute chart. Higher lows on the price action here, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum indicator, but our money flow does not look good here. And so I just don't see enough confirmation for me to take this. We could bounce from here. Absolutely could bounce from here. Is Bitcoin crashing? All right, let's see if we get that as 3 drives pattern here. Here's what I'm going to do on this during this video. I am going to set an alert here, and let's do oops. All right, we'll check this out. We'll see if we get this during the video. Remember that daily there, 101.290. My soul short is probably doing really nice right now. Yes. All right. Let's go 217, 212. Okay, let's get back to it. I just did Popcat. You guys, sorry, on Popcat, there's not much I can say. ICP is going to be the next one. Now, I am going to do XRP and Carpool, C-Pool too. I think I did ICP on here. Let's go to the daily. Nope, I did ICP USDT. All right, here we go. Now, ICP here, you guys, we have a couple big things to look at. So we're in this daily pitchfork that's really nicely respected. Look at, we rejected from the midline. Perfect here. Let me turn off the channel real quick. So rejected from the midline. Perfect here. The band was holding a support for a while. Hit the top of the band, lost the band, came down to the bottom of the pitchfork. And now the bottom of the pitchfork is holding us still. Held us here, held us here. So we're at our bottom support. So ICP, if you're bullish on ICP, now we're not seeing bull divs on the daily, which I would like to see at the bottom of this pitchfork. But ICP is kind of at its base of support, at least. Yeah, I mean, like you could see like this kind of was the accumulation phase here. We had our expansion phase here. And now we're kind of seeing maybe an A, B, C correction to the downside and then continue up. I mean, really, I would like for this pitchfork to hold. That doesn't mean it has to. So we're coming up to our pitchfork support, but let me go ahead and turn off this pitchfork for a second and show you guys the channel that we're in. So we're also in this big descending channel here. And you can see the bounce that we had was not only the bottom of the pitchfork, but it was also our channel midline. So let's turn the pitchfork back on. Look how nice this bottom was here. Bottom of pitchfork, channel midline, boom, bounce there. Now, and then also the top of the channel was also our pitchfork midline. Top of channel, pitchfork midline, like awesome, you know? So we can look at this now here. To me, it looks like almost 3 different ranges. So we had a range, an upper range here in this price action. Then we had a lower range here in this price action. And now we're kind of forming a range in this price action here. Again, kind of in the upper, but we're testing the lower ranges. So we can look at this a couple different ways here. We can do a fixed range volume profile pull of this smaller range here. And our value area high backtest is really where we're at right now. The backtest of the value area high. But we did backtest the value area high with this wick here. We did see a strong bounce from it. Now, if we re-enter this value area here, our point of control, is an important one thing that I see right away here, guys, is on the daily for ICP, we do have this daily low into the last time our point of control. Really, you can see the daily kind of closed right around that point of control. So we have the SFP of this $7.8 into our naked weekly point of control. Anytime an SFP into a important level like that. So this is our first box of support here. And then also we have this SFP here into the SFP of the lows from a week ago into our midline would be nice to see as well at $8.06. Those are very locally levels I'd be watching for. Now to the upside, there's a few things that we got to the upside here. Let's actually, and then let's do one big range pull of the entire channel price action here. This kind of upper range here. Man, we're trying to hold the value area low, but if the value area low doesn't hold, you can see we have some problems here. Now to the upside, our value area high, weekly naked point of control, and the top of our channel, all around $14.70. That is a resistance to be watching. Another one to the upside, another thing to the upside we can look at. We have our weekly and a naked daily point of control at $12.12, $12.13. That is at the top of our band, our pitchfork band. And then if we do a Fibonacci pull, why is that not clicking the first time? From high to low, you can see, okay, now our golden, wow. Okay, this is actually really nice. Let me double check this real quick. Okay, yeah, that's only 50% move. Okay, so golden pocket is in alignment with our point of control of the big range at $12.94. $12.94 is definitely a level I am interested in as a resistance. This area here. Another resistance up here, 786, naked weekly point of control, value area high. And top of the channel. A third resistance is going to be naked daily point of control, weekly, and the pitchfork band, $12.13. And then, of course, to the downside, I mean, our SFP at 806 would be really nice. It's also the bottom of the pitchfork. Yeah, and then we do have the SFP into the naked weekly point of control at 782. If we lose that, I mean, our weekly is down here at 718, and let's look at the value area of this range again. So our value area low of this range is around our weekly here, and that is 718 to 698. And if we lose that, man, ICP, well, let's do this. Let's go on to the weekly chart. And let's do a weekly Fibonacci pull of the lows to the highs here. Let's change it based off fib scale. So we already hit into our golden pocket here. You can see our log golden pocket. Look how nice this works. From high to low on the weekly, we come into our log golden pocket, bounce very strongly, multiple weeks of strong bounce. Now you can see here, if we keep dumping, the bottom of our 786 here is in confluence with the bottom of the weekly channel at $4.34. That is my spot buy zone. Yeah. All right. That's it for ICP. No, it's not. Let me check the pivot points real quick. And I want to go back to Ethereum to look at Ethereum. Okay, so monthly pivot point. We do have our S2 monthly pivot point in our box down here with our weekly and value area low down here. To the upside, we have our R2 pivot at the point of control and our golden pocket. Our R3 pivot is in our bigger box. It's so cool how these work out, you guys. Like, these are based off of Fibonacci algorithms here, and they already align with our boxes of resistance a lot of the time, or support. So that's really cool. And then, of course, our S1 pivot is coming in right around the bottom of our pitchfork and this local support that we're looking at right now. So I would say this area here. And then, yeah, to the upside, we have this. All right, that is it for ICP. Turn this off and let me go back to ETH. Wow, okay. Seeing a reaction, golden pocket, value area low. All right, let's check this out. Man, no bull divs though. I can't do it, you guys. I can't do it. I'll wait. I mean, 12-minute bull divs now we can see. Yeah. 15. Yeah, bull divs. Okay. Hourly does have a possibility for bull divs if we bounce from here. All right, let's speculate on this, you guys. If we're going to take a long from here, obviously we're going to have to enter close to where we're at now. I would actually wait for it to come back down, and I would want to start to see it range here. So what I'd really be waiting for is a little 5-minute range in here, and then I would long another touch here. So I would look for the bull divs to continue. I would try to long like a local golden pocket pull from high to low on a 1-minute chart. We would put our stop below the low here, and our VWAP would be the level to look for. Now, I'm going to go into this real quick here, guys, because I don't want to forget about this. So let's see. I covered ETH. I covered Super Popcat. I need to cover C Pool and XPR. But I do want to cover a question. Let's see. Where was it? Here we go. Okay, you guys, this guy here, Strobe Black Rose. Hey, Divine Hood, small question. I got very good results using golden pockets with trend lines. When they overlap, it is most of the time like a dream come true. I'm coming now to value area low, value area high POC using the fixed range volume profile. Now I'm a little confused from where to pull it. It always from the start of the week, last 2 weeks, last month. So with a fixed range volume profile, what you're trying to do is you're trying to measure the volume of a range. It's in the name of the indicator. Fixed range volume profile. It's a range. You're trying to measure a volume. You're trying to measure the fair value of a range that you're trading in. So you don't always pull it from the start of the week. That, you pull it from wherever the range is. So like, for instance, let's go on to Bitcoin here, and you can see Bitcoin had this impulse to the upside. So we're not going to pull it from the start of the impulse because this is impulsive price action. After the impulsive price action finished, we started ranging sideways, more sideways. So you'll pull your fixed range volume profile from the start of the range, like at the end of the impulse, from the start of the range, and then a range. Now, what we were pulling it from this range first because this was the range that we were in first, and then we lost that range, but it was like a range deviation, and we came back up into the range up to the value area high. So now I said, okay, I can play this thing as just a bigger range here. So now I will pull my volume profile with a range deviation down here. So I'll pull my bigger volume profile just all the way sideways, and here's the range that we're trading. And look at our value area low comes in right where we're at right now. We rejected from the value area high. We coming down to the value area low. So if this value area low and golden pocket area holds, we might see a rotation up to the point of control. It's just as simple as that. So a fixed range volume profile, you're trying to measure the volume of a range. Now, I have seen people use it in a different way as well. They will try to measure the volume of an impulse. Now, it's not called a fixed impulse value range, volume volume profile. It's called the fixed range volume profile. But I have seen people measure the volume of an impulse like this, and then they often look for the value area low of the impulse or the point of control of the impulse as like a support level to bounce to continue the impulse. So it's not invalid to use on impulses. I have seen it work tremendously well on impulses as well. But you just got to take into context what you're measuring. What you're trying to do with a fixed range volume profile is you're trying to measure the relevant price action, the volume of the relevant price action in front of you, the range that's in front of you. So I don't. Why would I pull the fixed range volume profile? Like, we do have the bigger range as well. We have a range that's like all through here on the daily. You could pull the volume of this range, but like, for instance, if I zoom out here onto the 8-hour chart here, you can see we have a pretty clear range forming up here. All this sideways price action up here. So why would I pull the fixed range volume profile all the way to like here? I wouldn't do something like this where I start it here and then pull it, just because it's the beginning of the month, beginning of a certain month or something like that, or the beginning of a certain week. No, you don't want to do that. You want to pull it from where the range starts really. And like this one, this fixed range volume profile, I actually am pulling it a couple different ways. I'm pulling it from the start of the more sideways range after this last impulsive price action here, and then we started more of this sideways range. So I've been pulling it like this, and then I've also been including this little pull here where we had our first dead cat bounce at 85K. These lows down here are very, very important lows. Liquidity resting at the bottom of our range, so you could pull the range like this as well. So that's how you use a fixed range volume profile. Use it to find the fair value of a range that you're trading in, and then obviously the value area low, value area high, point of control are key levels within that.